friends, this is Sarah from Sunset Bow, and today I'm just going to go ahead and do an unboxing of the Naked Heart Tarot. So this is a deck that has kind of just come out in a new edition, and it seems really wonderful. I've watched some other walkthroughs, and I really love the artwork in this deck. It is definitely a deck that doesn't have any real human figures in it. It has more animal figures and a lot more of that animal energy, and that's something that I'm really interested in decks right now. It feels like it has a little bit of a similar energy of the Wild Unknown, but it looks like it actually has artwork that I might like a little bit better than the artwork in the Wild Unknown. It's just a little bit more my style. So I'm really excited to take a look at this. So I'm going to just go ahead and open it up. I'm not planning to do a full walkthrough or anything because other people have done that very well, and I don't need to, necessarily contribute my thoughts on every single card, but I did want to just go ahead and film my experiences opening this up and what the packaging looks like and everything. So this is in a very lovely two-piece box, and it has this beautiful illustration on the cover. The box is a lovely matte. It has the Naked Heart Tarot by Jillian C. Wilde written on this side. Unfortunately, my corners did get a little banged up in transit, but it's hard to not have that happen. It has all the elemental symbols on this side. And then on the back here, some illustrations of some of the cards. So really beautiful box. Very sturdy. Definitely will be keeping the cards in this. And then opening it up, it says, "The Naked Heart holds the secrets of the soul." Jillian C. Wilde. That is very pretty. So yeah, this is an absolutely gorgeous package. So it looks like at the start here, we have the book on top, and very small but fat little book, which is so cool. It looks like there's just a ton of stuff in here. So yeah, wow. I mean, there's a whole section here on introducing how to work with the deck. There's a whole section on understanding tarot in general, about the major arcana, about the minor arcana, the different suits, the elements, about the court cards. I mean, that's pretty remarkable. So I will say that her elemental understanding of the court cards is a little bit different than mine. I associate the youth or knight with fire and the father or king with air. So that's a little bit different from the way that I tend to interpret it. But it's still cool. So yeah, wow, there's stuff about the crystal grid, symbolic keys, and then it starts just going into the cards. So there's this whole chunky little section of just background information before you even get to the cards. So this looks like a wonderful little book. I'm super looking forward to going through this, and it looks like for every card there's a paragraph explaining what's actually going on in the imagery before you get to the message, additional meaning, reverse meaning, and then symbolic keys for the various different images on the cards. So that's just really cool. I mean, this book looks like it has been just an absolute labor of love, just as much as the cards were in illustrating them, I'm sure. So that's a really wonderful little fat book to include with a tarot deck. That's just awesome. So I'll go ahead and open up the deck here. The Naked Heart Tarot. This deck has been created and set with the intention of providing healing energy, clarity, guidance, and truth. Each card provides insight into the naked heart where ego is extinguished and purity of light flows within you. I'm glad we found each other. Much love, Jillian C. Wilde. That's really lovely. And then it's just got this nice little, it's not in shrink wrap inside the box. It's just got this little sort of band around it. So let's see if I can figure out how to get that off. Oh, maybe I just need to slide it off. Oh, I guess it's not that hard to slide. Okay. So yeah, so we've got this little title card here on the front, and oh my lord, these backings are so beautiful. The cardstock on these is absolutely lovely. I mean, it's relatively thick. You can see that this is a pretty chunky little deck here when you look at it side on, and it's beautifully matte. It's really kind of silky feeling, and yeah, that is absolutely lovely cardstock, and they're a wonderful size too. These are going to be, I have small hands, and these are going to be very, very easy for me to shuffle. So that is awesome. And I'm not going to go through all of the cards here, but just to sort of point out the style of the artwork, there's a little bit of a flavor of the Wild Unknown to it with some of this, black and white sort of line drawing portions of it. And then the individual animals in the cards are all illustrated in this sort of full color, close to, photorealistic kind of style. And I think it's a beautiful, beautiful combination. And it really speaks to me a lot. There's a ton of elemental symbolism, astrological symbolism, various esoteric symbolism in these cards, so there's going to be a lot to look at in the book as I go through it, but the illustrations, just looking at them initially, oh, I love that for the Hierophant, are really stunningly beautiful. So yeah, I'm so excited about this deck. When I saw a walkthrough of it, I saw Kelly from the Truth and Stories walkthrough of it, and just like instantly fell in love. I watched the whole walkthrough and then just like went and ordered it because I just loved the imagery on this so much. So I'm really, really excited to do some more work with it. So what I might do after I've had a little bit of a chance to kind of go through all the cards and look at them, look at the book a little bit more, I'm probably going to do a deck interview spread with this. So I'll probably go ahead and film that as well. But just to start off, I mean, this deck is really stunning, and I am so excited to make use of it. So anyway, wow. So yeah, we'll probably be back with more. Hi everybody, Sarah back here from Sunset Bow, and I've spent a little bit of time working with my Naked Heart Tarot, looking at all the images, going through the guidebook, and so now I just wanted to film that deck interview spread that I like to do with a new deck, and so yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I think this deck is really, really beautiful. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and the thing that I really, whoops, actually shuffle, my goodness. The thing that I really like about this deck is, it does have that like animal energy that like, the Wild Unknown has, but it also has a really kind of awesome sense of humor. Thinking specifically about like the Seven of Cups is that giraffe with its head in the clouds. I love that, and I really like the Seven of Swords with the raccoon, the Pentacles, that Eight of Pentacles is the beaver, and then the Three of Pentacles is those ants. Like, I don't know, it's really fun. It's got that kind of fun energy to it, in addition to the fact that the artwork is just stunningly beautiful. So yeah, I mean, I'm really liking this one a lot. Bridge these up a little bit, try to keep them a little flatter. So yeah, it's just a really beautiful deck with a really fun sense of humor, in addition to a lot of really meaningful imagery. And the cardstock is just fantastic. It's so wonderful and luscious, and just a joy to shuffle. If I could actually, oh, for Pete's sake. Spoke too soon. Blah! There we go. Okay. But yeah, I really, really like it. And in particular, I love the quartz. I really like the choice of animals that she did for the quartz. The wands quartz are foxes, the cups are whales, the swords are like big cats, like black panthers, and the pentacles are buffalo. And it's a really awesome choice. And then, you know, each of the quartz depicts a full family of that individual animal. So in that way, it's kind of like the Wild Unknown, but I really like the choice of animals. And man, those cups quartz in particular, and that cups ace, oh my lord, the artwork is so beautiful. Just like, wow, those stunning whales. So yeah, there's just a lot of really, really wonderful stuff going on with this deck. Okay, I think we're in a good state here. Okay, so again, this is a 6-position spread. So I'm trying to think of the best way for this to fit on camera, but I think I am actually just going to do 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom again. Okay, yeah, so the first position in this spread is, what is this deck's most important characteristic? And I got the Fool, and oh, that is wonderful, especially because I do get that feeling from the artwork in this deck of that sort of playfulness and that sense of innocence. It really has that lovely quality. In addition to that, also kind of, inner wisdom that the Fool does have to an extent. I mean, it's not the inner wisdom of of knowing things. It's that inner wisdom of knowing that the journey is the destination, and knowing that everything's going to be okay no matter what, knowing that as you strike out and embark on something new, that you need to have that sense of hope. So what a wonderful first card to get for this deck's most important characteristic. I really love that. What it tells me is both that this deck has that fun, and it has that sense of play and that sense of humor that I was talking about earlier, but that also that it's really ready to embark on this sort of new exploration with me. That there's going to be new energies that I'm working with, and sort of like starting the beginning of a journey together. And that's just, I don't know, that's just such a positive energy to be starting off a relationship with a deck with. I really, really love that. So that's the deck's most important characteristic. The second position in this spread is, what are this cup's strengths? And for this, I got, wait a second, did I just say something wrong? I said, okay, the second position is, what is this deck's strengths? And for that, I got the Mother of Cups. And I was just discussing how much I loved the Cups quartz in this deck. Look at these whales. They're just unbelievably beautiful. I mean, just that artwork is so incredible. And so that Mother of Cups, so this is the equivalent of the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is all about that emotional wisdom, all about that sort of inner understanding of your own emotions. The Cups Queen is, she has that fully mature understanding of emotions, and she is very nurturing, and she has a firm grasp on her emotions, but it's almost more like, like, I love the whale imagery. It's like she swims among her own emotions peacefully. She's fully in touch with them, and and she really just has that very mature, very in touch, very sort of understanding of what her feelings are, and how best to deal with them on a day-to-day basis. So what this tells me is that this deck is going to be really good for that. This is going to be a deck that is about getting in touch with with feelings. This is going to be probably a good deck for me to come to about relationships. It's probably, though, really just in general, going to be a good deck for me to come to when I have just sort of any kind of question about how I'm feeling about something, about making sure that I can get in touch with those feelings and really engage with them in a peaceful way. It's a deck that I feel like is going to be comforting for me, and one that you know, again, can help attain that sort of mature understanding of how I feel about things. So I think that that's really, really, really wonderful. It's already funny to me, the difference between this and the deck interview that I did when I first got the Wild Unknown. I swear to God, when I first got the Wild Unknown, that deck interview was like pain, 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 pain. It was like, here's the Nine of Swords, here's the Ten of Swords, you know, here's the Devil, I mean, it was just, which in a way was also very comforting, because it was very much kind of telling me this deck is a place to come when you have those difficult questions. You know, when you're going through just utter shit and, you know, you're really struggling and you're feeling a lot of pain, I will be the one to help you get answers to that. But this one is just such a soothing energy. You know, this one is really telling me, you know, I'm here to comfort you. It's really nice. Okay, and then totally opposite of the Mother of Cups, we have the Mother of Wands for the deck's weaknesses. So, you know, I mean, that could not be clearer of a contrast. We've got water here and we've got fire here. So, you know, this is a deck about emotions, and it's not so much a deck about passions. It's not so much a deck about creativity. And it's interesting to me because, you know, the Queen of Wands in general, like that Queen of Wands energy is something that I've really been trying to seek out in my life recently. Like I am very much more of this energy as a person. You know, I'm very much more of an emotional energy type of person. I tend to be a bit shy and retiring. You might have noticed that I've never actually showed my face on my channel. There is a very good reason for that. It's because I'm this person and not this person. You know, so I've really been trying to get more of that Queen of Wands energy in my life recently. And you probably, obviously you can't see, but over here on my bookshelf, there's, I have a little stand set up where I display a card, and I've been displaying the Queen of Wands from the Rider-Waite-Smith for like a month, because that's really kind of what I'm trying to go for in my life. That's the kind of energy that I'm really trying to nurture in myself, to be a little bit bolder, to be a little bit more outspoken, to be, you know, to sort of be willing to, you know, express some of those things about myself that that I kind of keep to myself a lot of the time. And what this is telling me is that this isn't really a deck for that. You know, this is a deck that it's more about who I am and not who I'm trying to be. But that's okay, you know, because it's good to still honor who I am as a person, and to know that I have a deck that I can go to really give me those again, it's comforting. It's not something to push me out of my comfort zone, I guess, is what this is telling me. That this isn't a deck to push me out of my comfort zone. This is a deck to have fun with and enjoy, and also for it to just sort of help me get in touch with that person who I am, that emotional person that I already am. So the fourth position here is, ooh, what can you teach me? And for this, I got the Ten of Swords. And so, you know, this is a really interesting card to come up here. So I think, again, what this is telling me is that, you know, it can teach me that sort of how to bounce back kind of energy. That, again, this is a deck that I can come to for comfort when I'm in pain. And it's a deck that can help pull me out of that hole. So, you know, I mean, because again, the way that I always think of the Ten of Swords is, you know, the Ten of Swords is that culmination of that difficult journey that's embodied in the sword suit. And I love the sword suit, and there's so many wonderful messages contained in it, but it's a difficult journey to go through. You know, you gain so much by the end, but the journey itself is very, very difficult. And you know, and the Ten of Swords is very much that rock bottom kind of feeling. You know, when you really, really get to that point where you're just at your darkest place. And it's not like the Nine of Swords where it's an imaginary darkest place, it's a real darkest place. And so what this is telling me is that, you know, what this deck can teach me is give me strategies for how to pull myself out of that dark place when and if it ever comes along. You know, I have hit that point in my life before. I'm sure I'll hit it again. I think it's something that happens to all of us, where we just really, really hit those deepest depths, and we need to turn around and drag ourselves back out again. That's one of the reasons why I think the Ten of Swords and the Anna K is so powerful, is that, you know, it shows the person who has been stabbed, you know, the ground is covered in blood, they're covered in blood, but they're getting up and they're walking away, because you always have an upswing from here. You know, there isn't any lower to go, and there's a certain kind of comfort in that, because yeah, it's all uphill. You're at the bottom of the wheel of fortune. It's all uphill from there. So what this is telling me is that this deck will be a comfort to me in those times. And I really do feel that. I think this deck has just a lovely energy. So the fifth position here is, how best can we learn and collaborate together? And for that, I got the Magician. So wow, that is really awesome. It's, again, I mean, look at how much of a deck of beginnings this is. You know, it's telling me that it can help me deal with the end of a cycle and go back to the beginning of a cycle. Here we literally have 0 and 1. We have the Fool and the Magician in the major arcana in this deck. And so how can we best learn and work together? I mean, the Magician is all about manifesting what you want. You know, the Magician is about making something yours and making the world look the way that you want it to look. And so I think what this is telling me about my relationship with the deck in particular is that I need to make my relationship with this deck what I want it to be. You know, I need to work with this deck in such a way that I am bringing all of my skills and abilities as a tarot reader to bear on my relationship with this deck, and using it the way I want to use it. You know, I really feel like this deck is giving me such an open kind of energy. I mean, it's sort of like, I'm up for anything, you know? I'm here to be a friend to you, and I'll go anywhere with you, and I will comfort you, and, you know, make of me what you will. And so that's what the Magician is telling me in terms of how we can best learn and work together, is that, you know, I can make this what I want. I can, you know, have a relationship with this deck that I define and that I bring my skills and abilities to bear on. So I think that's really cool. It's coming at me with like so much like openness. I mean, the one negative card is what can you teach me? And it's just all about like, you know, I can teach you how to recover from a hard time. And that's really awesome. So the sixth position in this spread is what is our potential in working together? And I got another Mother here. I got the Mother of Pentacles. So that's amazing. I mean, I've got these 3 Mother cards in this reading. Half of the reading is made up of Mother cards. And again, you know, what that is telling me is that this deck has such a nurturing energy, like, oh my goodness. And so, you know, what the potential of us working together is that, you know, it's sort of telling me, okay, well, you know, I can help you be in touch with yourself as a Mother of Cups. And maybe I'm not going to be so good at bringing out those fiery energies in you, but what I can do is I can help you get a little bit more down to earth about things. You know, I can help you maybe not take things quite so seriously, and I can help you, you know, or not take those sort of, you know, swirling emotions and you know, the sort of difficult currents of the emotional waters quite so seriously. I can kind of solidify things for you. You know that energy of the Queen of Pentacles, where you know, she's very matter of fact. And not in any kind of difficult way. You know, the Queen of Swords is also matter of fact too, but the Queen of Pentacles is matter of fact in a nurturing way. You know, she's very much all about like making a lovely space for people to be in, you know, and making a lovely space for yourself to be in, and you know, really just sort of letting yourself have that kind of comfort, that comfortable way of relating to the world, you know. And so, yeah, so that's a wonderful outcome here. I mean, to go from here to here is, it's just, I think that part of the sort of, you know, the great thing about this deck is that it's saying, like, I honor who you are, you know, it honors who I am. But at the same time, it wants to help me grow in an intentional way. And it wants to help me get in touch with another side of myself, even than the one that I potentially want to get in touch with more. It really wants to, help me develop in such a way that I don't necessarily suffer from some of the same pains that you have as a result of being a more emotional person. It wants me to be comfortable, and it wants me to be happy. That's amazing. This is just amazing. Having all of this just nurturing energy in this deck. This gives me such a warm feeling looking at this reading. But it's not just like warm and like pat you on the head. It's warm and it's like, let's start out on a journey together and like, let's make this what you want it to be. Let's have the kind of relationship that you're in control of, and I can be for you what you need. And that's just really wonderful. So, anyway, yeah, what a wonderful spread. I loved this. I'm so excited about this deck. I am feeling such a strong connection to it, and I think it's just beautiful. And yeah, boy, this just makes me want to work with it so much. I'm so excited, to move forward and see what this relationship ends up being like. So wow, yeah. Great reading, and thank you so much for watching, and have a great one. Bye-bye.